couple of months later, I was almost completely out of money. And my agent called to tell me that Danny Jacobson, the producer of Mad About You, was offering me another small role on the show. The agent was recommending I pass on it because it was too small a role and the character didn't even have a name. It was for the part of waitress, and I wouldn't even see the part till I got to the set in an hour. Get there in an hour. Don't take it. They can't treat you like this. I didn't even think twice. Of course, I took it. Whatever it is, I'll make it funny. I'll listen and respond and make it funny. By the second day, Danny Jacobson asked if I would be okay with being written into at least 5 more shows throughout the season. I told him I was okay with that. Some people thought I was funny as the waitress, ultimately named Ursula, on Mad About You. One of them was one of their talented writers named Jeffrey Cleric. Jeffrey's boyfriend was named David Crane, who recommended I come in to read for his new show about 6 20-somethings who lived in New York and hung out at a coffee house. After many auditions, I was the second person cast in the pilot called Friends Like Us, which would later be changed to Friends. Jim Burrows also directed this pilot and the first 10 episodes of Friends. One day, the 6 of us were talking with Jimmy, exchanging the time I got fired stories. And Jimmy told them mine. Well, she's got the worst one of all. She got fired from Frasier. You were right for the part, darling. Thanks. Well, it's a good thing you got fired, or you wouldn't have been on this show. He was right. And it was a good thing I didn't get Saturday Night Live. And that Romy and Michelle, that pilot didn't work out. And every other disappointment that happened. They were actually more like guideposts that kept me on my path. Oh, and after I got fired from Frasier, I went to a birthday party, and feeling like I had nothing at all to lose, I flirted with a guy who was way out of my league. We dated, and on Thursday, Michelle and I will have been married for 15 years. Yeah, that is the biggest achievement, it is. And we'll celebrate with our remarkable 12-year-old son. So, thank God I got fired. Maybe there is a reason for everything. I think there is. When I was sitting where you are today, 25 years ago, and I thought, how I'm not really going to miss Vassar. Maybe it's not because I'm made of stone. Thank you. I thought it was funny too. Maybe it's because deep down, I knew Vassar would never leave me. My producing partner and one of my best friends is Dan Bukatinsky, Vassar class of '87. I didn't know him while I was here. But when you need to creatively partner with someone who shares your high standards, it turns out to be a Vassar guy. Now, Vassar has stayed with me because I carried those high standards that were nurtured in me here all along the way. I knew what was good, and that's what I did and will always try to achieve. Good work. Even if the network cancels my show, I know it's good work, and I'm proud of it. Even when people looked at me with pity, as they'd say, "You have a web series? Oh." I know it's good work, and I'm proud of it. You have a BBC series? That's a historical documentary show on genealogy. On NBC? Yes. Really? For American audiences? They won't like that. I think they will, because it's good. And they do. And maybe I wasn't sad to leave Vassar, because on some level, I knew I'd be back 3 times a year at the Board of Trustees meetings. And one last thing. When I was invited to be on the board, I was nervous, because it was the first meeting and I wouldn't know anybody. And then I saw there was another person from the class of '85, attorney Stephen Hankins, who was Stephen, the cool mug manager who danced well. And it is really nice to see him around again. I truly wish you all the best in whatever it is that you want. Thank you.